Hello friends, welcome to my channel GoDigit. Today in this video we will try to understand the concept of interfaces in AL language. Uh, Before we start, I just want to tell you that I think around 1 or 2 years back I made a video on the interface which was very basic in nature, where I just explained general definition, the structure of interface, what exactly it is. But of course, that video does not uh, give us the complete clarity about in what scenarios we can use the interfaces, right? So today, maybe I have to make one another video about it, but we will try to understand the complete concept of the interface so that we could know and judge ourselves uh, based on the requirements we receive from our clients, that on what grounds uh, we have to use the interface and how we should structure the development accordingly. Okay, so before we move directly into the code, let me show you up exactly how the interface functionality runs. Right. So for example, I already deployed one sample app in this environment. And for that, what we need to do is that I just go to the customers, and here you can see the list of the customers which are currently total number is 5. So let me select the first customer. So here, as you can see, there is one field called AI model. All right, and it is by default an option field, or we can say an enum field, right? And it is giving us an option of 4 AI models along with one blank option. So total 5 options are showing up, right? So let me say that, for example, currently MS Copilot is selected, and if I select this up and click on new, here you can see that 2 buttons are showing up, which means one is the process and second is belongs to. So let's say if I click on process, I get this message, it is MS Copilot process. And if I click on belongs to, it is giving me this option that MS Copilot belongs to Microsoft, right? Now, if I go to the second one, it has this Google Gemini. Okay, and if I click on process, so you can see here now the output is completely different, which is Google Gemini process. And if I click on belongs to, it is giving me the option called Google, right? Third one, it is blank, right? No options get selected. So if I now click this up, it is giving me MS Copilot. Don't take it wrong. Belongs to Microsoft. Don't take it wrong. It is the default output which I'm getting based on if none of the values are selected, right? So maybe the code is running behind like this, that if user does not select any available option, then by default system will consider MS Copilot as an AI to be used against this customer, right? So now if I select the last one, let's say maybe Meta AI process, and belongs to Meta, right? So now let's I hope after seeing this output where we are selecting different options, and when we click this button, we are getting different sorts of output based on the selection of this value, right? You will say that okay, there is not much a big deal out of it, right? We can, based on this condition, like we can use that if AI model is Meta AI, then run this message against this button. So we can write down 5 conditions against this button, right? Like if it is Meta AI, then this message. If Google Gemini, then this message. Or we can use the case statement, right? So in that way we can structure the different output, right? Which means that only one object will consist all these uh, the results or all the logic against these five options. And then if I maybe in the future, if I have to add one more option, or if I have to delete one more option, like one of the existing option, then I have to uh, make the changes in the same object, which means because the logic which is written against that object for all the options, right? Then there is a danger, right? There is a risk that you might end up like ruining the one of the existing logic for these options, right? So there is and there is a concept of interface which generally helps us in such scenarios where you feel that maybe there are certain options. Based on those certain options, you need to generate different output, right? You need that system should behave differently. And because you are sure enough that maybe in future these options might increase or decrease, right? So based on all these things, you can utilize the concept of interface in your development, which will definitely helps in reducing the redundancy, right? It helps you to reuse the existing code. And because the code you will write in different objects which are uh, independent in nature, which are not dependent on each other, and that's why the risk of uh, ruining your current logic based on the options you will add or decrease will be very minimal, right? So now you have seen the output, like how basically we can think about the different scenarios about like how we can use the interface, right? So let's move to the VS Code. And here the first thing is that I can create one enum, right, which will be as AI models, right? The first will be, let's say, blank, and then value MS Copilot, then value 2, it will be Google Gemini, then value 3 will be, let's say, Meta AI, right? And based on different models, if you want to use, you can add it up here based on your requirements, right? So now let's say which is the fourth option, uh, yeah, OpenAI ChatGPT, of course. How can I forget that? All right. So now this is our enum, or you can say this is an option which I really want to attach to my customer. And I want to use these different AI models based on the uh, use case or like the preference of my customer, right? So I have created this enum. Now let's add one more option, which is interface, right? So it will be, okay, I automate, and we can create two procedures here. Process, procedure belongs to. All right. So as you can see from this object itself, that here we just define the function. Here we just define the name of the function. There is no body inside it. There is no code you will write inside these procedures, right? So it's just like an abstract procedures which does not contain any sort of code. It's just that what type of functions I really want out of my interface. So I just add those procedures, and based on it, we will use in different the logic we will write in different code units. All right. So this is the interface which we have created. Maybe if your requirement is that you want to perform more operations, then based on the operations which you want to do, you can create multiple procedures into it. All right. So this is my interface. Now, uh, because as we have seen here that we have created AI models, and I really want that these operations like process and belongs to are common operations against these four models, right? So what I want is that uh, each model, because I know, will generate different types of output and will behave differently based on the different prompts you will pass. So I want to capture all those outputs differently. So I really want to write the logic for each AI model in a different code unit, right? So what we can do is that we can create four code units, right? Which is for MS Copilot dot .l, and then I can write down meta AI.al, and then chat gpt.al, and then gemini.al. So these are the four code units we have to create. So first let's create first code unit, which will be Gemini. All right. So here, because I don't want this trigger, as we have created an interface object, right? So I want to implement that interface. Implements I automate, right? Which means that the procedures which I have created, like the operations which I really want to perform, uh, are available in the interface. And as I said, that the logic you will write in the code units which will implement the interface. So that's why I write down this word called implement. And now you can see that error is coming up because I have not implemented the procedures of this interface. So you can click on this bulb and you can see here this option called implement interface. Click on it, and as soon as I click on it, you will see that the procedures are added along with the body. That now system wants that I should write down the main logic, right, for this model Gemini. Okay, so I can just write down like message hello, hello Gemini, and then here I can write down message Google, right? Although obviously, because I'm just giving you a heads up, so that's why I'm writing down this message, but you have to write your own logic which will run based on whenever user will select the Google Gemini option in the customer card, right? When and then when user click on process or when user click on belongs to, right? So this is one of the definition, one of the logic which I have write down for this Google Gemini. Now let's copy this and paste in different code unit. Let me give it one GPT. All right, so now you can see the difference, that because it's a second code unit, different object which I will use only for the chat GPT option. Whenever user will select that chat GPT option on the customer card, I want that logic should behave differently than the Gemini, and that's why I am passing the different definitions on the two procedures called process and belongs to. Right, so when I click on process button or when I click on belongs to button, and if the option is selected as GPT, then system will run this code from this code unit and not from this code unit, right? So now same thing we will do here. Let me just do like this as Meta AI, and Meta AI Meta, and then this Copilot. Then this Copilot, and this belongs to Microsoft. Right, so I have write down four different definitions for the different options of my enum, which we will use in the customer card, right? So now after this, of course, I want this enum field which we have created should be available on my customer card. So what I can do here is that I can create a table extension, t cust sorry t table ext, and it should be customer ext customer, right? I don't want any other thing, I just need one field, so I can just pass field, and it should be AI model enum as AI models, right? So this is what I need in my uh, customer table, right? So this is the field which I need, and now because I really want to show this field on my uh, page of the customer, so I should create page extension, the page extension, customer card, right? So now first of all we have to add this field, add after name field AI model, right? Application area as all, caption as AI models. So now the field will be visible on my, sorry, not like this, AI models, right? So now the field will be visible on my customer card page, but along with that I need those two buttons. So what I can do here is that I will add those actions here, right? So add after, let's say, approval, I will add one group, let's say AI, right? And then I can create an action which will be process application area as all, and then trigger on action begin end. I'll create one variable of my interface. Alright, so now what I need to do is that I just want to pass my enum to my interface. Alright, and now I can iautomate dot process. Alright, so you can see here that when I'm passing this enum to the interface variable, I'm getting this error. Cannot implicitly convert type enum AI models to interface iautomate. Okay, which is quite like easy to understand that of course enum type thing I cannot pass it directly to the interface. So let's solve this error, and to solve this go back to the enum object, and here also just like in the code units where we implemented the interface, I will add the my interface to my enum as well. Alright, which means that this enum is implementing the interface, and as soon as I write down this, I'm getting the error in all my values. And what is the error is that value blank does not implement interface I automate, and there is no default implementations for the measure interface. Right, now the thing is that now based on these different options, how system should behave, which logic system which logic system should run, right? uh, so as you can see here that I have selected different uh, I have created different code units, so it's a time to assign those different code units to these different options via interface, right? So there is a property for each value which is called implementation, and in this implementation we need to pass the interface, and along with that I need to pass the code unit which will be running against this logic, right? Since this is blank, I don't want to write this down here. I will write down here for this thing implementation as I automate as copilot, right? So this is the name of the code unit. Now same thing we will do here, I automate as Google Gemini, then implementation as I automate, then Meta AI, and then the last one is implementation as I automate as GPT, right? So you can see that as soon as I assign these things, error is gone. However, for the blank, still the error is coming, and I have not created any other code unit which will handle in this blank scenario, right? So as I said that when I showed you the output also for the blank, Copilot code unit is only running. So one way is that I can write down this line for this option as well, and then system is done. However, uh, there is a property for the complete enum object which is default implementation, and in this also I can pass down any code unit which I really want to make it as a default, right? So which means that if I don't define these property for each value, by default Copilot is assigned to all the different AI models options, right? And if you want to make this blank option, if user selects, then Copilot should run. So this default implementation will currently apply for this currently blank value only, right? So this is how we can assign our interface to the enum, and we can run our different logic which is written in the code unit through these enum values, right? So I assign my code unit to the interface, and based on this option, whenever user will select, system will run the copilot code unit. Like system will pass the copilot code unit to the interface, and through this interface, system will run the procedures of this copilot code unit, right? So let's see here. Now you can see that error is gone. Like now I can easily pass my enum to the interface object without any issue. And now when I'm passing this function iautomate.process, which will as we have seen that by default this interface object uh, does not have any body on this procedure, right? There is no code written inside it process. However, based on this enum object, when you just select copilot, this enum option will basically uh, pass to the interface, and then system will see that which enum option is there. Let's say if it is copilot, system will know that now I need to go to this copilot code unit and run the logic of this copilot code unit process procedure, right? So now it's as simple as like that. I can create one more action. This time it will be belongs to, and now I just need to run the different procedure belongs to. That's it, right? So it's so easy that based on I know I have not passed different properties as well, which is required. So don't go by this thing. It's just a very raw code I have written down here, because I just wanted to show you the concept of the interface and the scenarios through which you can understand that now it's a time to use the interface, or now it's a time to write down the if condition, else condition, case statements, like that way, right? So it's so easy that how we can structure our interface, how we can link our interface to the different code units, to the enum object itself, and then we can simply just assign the enum object to my interface, and then system will run the different code units logic against the same function or same button which is available on your page, right? So this is the concept, this is the basic understanding of this interface object. We will cover it up more functionality of the interface, like uh, in the latest versions of the BC. Now it's a time to, like, Microsoft have added this capability where we can extend the interface itself, right? So we will see all those things in the next coming videos. So that's it in the today's video. If you like it, I request you to please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.